can have some pretty good guys in it. Guys like Floyd Mayweather, Roberto Garcia. You talk about Young Soo Choi, Jesus Chavez. You've got Goyo Vargas is in here. John Brown is in this division. And, of course, you've got a lot of exciting guys like Diego Corrales, who is undefeated as well. When you look at Corrales' record, I mean, Garcia is probably the more famous of the two, but Corrales here decked out in his fatigues from Sacramento, California. Pretty fair country record, too.
He's undefeated with 23 KOs in his 28 wins. And Chico Corrales comes with a couple of things that could help him in this fight. He's a lot taller, has a big reach advantage over Garcia. What they'd like to see from him, he and his handlers, is a boxer-puncher kind of performance. They don't want him just running around the ring, jabbing, but they also don't want him staying on the inside with Roberto Garcia, who has twice gotten off the canvas to retain his title.
I'll take a look at the tail of the tape here, Al, and it'll tell us a few things. That Garcia's a whole lot shorter. He's a half-pound lighter. He's a couple of years older, and he's giving away a couple of inches in reach. So everything on the tail of the tape would favor Diego Corrales. Both undefeated fighters. It's Roberto Garcia's title that's up for grabs tonight. This is his third title defense. He's the IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, but he's fought 10 of the 15 top opponents. There's the rules, Al.
Well, you see the 10-point must in effect. These are the unified rules. No standing 8. No 3 knockdown. The referee can stop the fight and can't be saved by the bell in any round.
They've got one common opponent. He's Angel Aldama. Now, Garcia TKO'd Aldama in 5 rounds. And the last time out, Corrales stopped Aldama in 4. But he also had to go 10 rounds to beat him the first time. So I don't know if that tells you a whole lot there. The common opponents, you know, the night, they're all that. I don't pay much attention to that, but they're very similar, record-wise.
Well, they're both big punchers. Garcia's knockout ratio 75%, and Corrales is 82%, so they can both punch.
By the way, Garcia won the title in March of '98. He won the title in Miami, Florida over Harold Warren. They won a full 12 rounds. This fight could go 12 rounds, so we'll tell you who the judges are. It could become very important. Bill Graham, Mike Gliena, and Steve Weisfield of New Jersey. Gliena, of course, is from Illinois, and Graham from Las Vegas, Nevada. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is moving into position, and we'll have this fight underway momentarily. Don't forget, coming up, and I know you don't have to forget, because coming up is the 10-round heavyweight battle, Mike Tyson against Orlin Norris. Want to welcome Argentina, Aruba, Australia, the Bahamas, Belgium, Bolivia, Brazil, Cambodia, Royal Armed Forces. Great to have you with us in Canada. In Chile on Sky Channel. Want to say hello to Douglas American Day watching down there. All my friends in Shanghai TV in China, Colombia, Costa Rica, Curacao, the Dominican Republic. Hello again, everybody. Ecuador, El Salvador, France, Germany, Greece, Guatemala, Holland, and here's Jimmy Lennon Jr. from Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the City of Entertainment, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action in store for you, and it's all brought to you by America Presents in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and the MGM Grand. At this time, we present a World Championship bout. It is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation President Robert Lee Sr. Supervisor at ringside is Al Lucas, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem. Introducing to you our judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Chicago, Illinois, Mike Gliena. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Bill Graham. And from Rivervale, New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Introducing to you the third man in the ring, our referee in charge. Working in this is 123rd world title bout, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first on my right, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing camouflage trunks, fighting out of and representing Sacramento, California. He weighed in at 129½ pounds, undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 28 wins, no losses, 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Presenting the #1 ranked IBF Junior Lightweight contender, introducing the undefeated Diego Chico Corrales. And And his opponent across the ring on my left, presenting the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner, wearing burgundy trunks, fighting out of La Colonia Boxing Club in Oxnard, California. He weighed in at a ready 129 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign as well, with 32 wins, no losses, 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the third defense of his title. Here is the defending and undefeated IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, introducing Roberto Grandpa Garcia. Once again, a referee in charge, Joe Cortez, now to give instructions.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules of the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. I want good sportsmanlike conduct, understood? Okay, now these trunks here, they're a little high here, okay? Touch them up, remember guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Give me clean fight.
Is that Robert?
All right, we're set to go. Bob Sheridan, Al Bernstein, we're at ringside, the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This is for the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Roberto Garcia, decked out in burgundy. Diego Corrales, third man in the ring, one of the very best referees in the world. Joe Cortez doing his 123rd world title fight. So he is fair, and he will be firm, and he's a great referee. So these guys have a good shot to be really handle their own destiny, huh? All right, here we go. Round number one. Again, scheduled for 12 rounds. Shorter of the two fighters is Roberto Garcia. Corrales, big, tall, lanky guy in the Chico written across his midsection there in the camouflage trunks. He's from Sacramento, California. Big 6-footer against a 5'7" Roberto Garcia. Nice left hook by Garcia. Both these guys can bang. As I take a look at the ring records, there's been 3 long fights for Diego Corrales. They've been 10 rounds, 11 rounds, and 12 rounds, one time each. He's had 24 fights that have ended inside of 7 rounds and 13 that have ended inside of 3 rounds. On the other hand, Roberto Garcia has been 12 rounds 5 times in his career. People ask me heading into this fight, what will happen in this fight? You get 2 big bangers, anything can happen. But Al, these guys look like the type of guys who are going to really box each other.
Well, I think Corrales would like it to be a little bit more of a boxing match, but he wants to punch with Garcia. There's the left hook of Garcia. He's got a very good double left hook. He'll want to get inside the jab of Corrales where he can work to the body and the head. But there's the danger. You see Corrales, when you come in, he's a very good counterpuncher.
Well, he can counterpunch all right. Garcia has defended his title a couple of times against Ramon Ledon in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He retained the IBF Junior Lightweight title. And then in 1999, he did it again against John Molina in Las Vegas, retaining the title. He went 5 rounds against Ledon and 12 rounds against Molina, a much better class fighter fighting for the title that time. Garcia's got his work cut out against this big, strong guy who showed a bit of trunk movement there, Diego Corrales. Corrales has 23 KOs and his undefeated record. Garcia has more. He has 32 wins and 24 KOs.
In both of his title defenses, Garcia went down, so he can be put down. And Corrales is certainly hoping for that. But one bad thing for Corrales early in this first round, and good for Garcia. Garcia's already getting punches into the head from long range against Corrales, and that's not supposed to happen with a guy that's 5 inches shorter. But the reason is Corrales is leaning in more than he should.
He's leaning in, and he's also not double jabbing. So what he does is he comes out with a left jab, and what he does is he leaves Roberto Garcia a chance to time his shot right back at him with a counterpunch. And he comes in, oh, nice left hook that time, caught right side of the head of Garcia. Look at this guy, he's a tough cookie, isn't he, Garcia? Man.
Roberto Garcia has improved immeasurably in the last couple of years.
Well, he's got his brother Danny Garcia, who was a pretty good fighter himself, working with him, and his dad Eduardo Garcia, and then one of the best cutmen in the business, a veteran Chuck Bodak, and Ruben Juarez all in there with him. So he's got a nice, good corner with him, as does Corrales. Closing seconds now. This is the first round of a scheduled 10-round world title fight. All right, the bell ends round 1. Pretty good round for both fighters. That one, to me, nobody really took command of the first round, although I thought Garcia might have landed more clean punches.
I think he probably did land more of the clean power shots, and he was able to cut the distance down between himself and Corrales. So stylistically, I think Roberto Garcia has to be feeling pretty good after that first round. And Corrales' corner, I'm sure they're saying to him, you got to keep that distance.
Look at this. Look at this, Al, as we listen. He's not even breathing her. That's conditioning.
Father Eduardo is talking to him as his main second.
Very cool corner, isn't it? Andale, of course, means let's go in Spanish. Now let's see if he picks up the pace any here in the second round. Bob Sheridan, Al Bernstein with the Grant Garden Arena here at the MGM. What a beautiful setup this is for watching boxing. And it's jam-packed. See Mike Tyson the next fight. But this is for the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship in the world. And there's an anticipation in the crowd, Al, anytime that you're at a Tyson fight.
Well, it's a different experience. Oh, nice right hand and a left hook by Garcia. He's a very aggressive fighter. He rips both the body and the head. He wants to bang, and that's what he's doing against Corrales, who needs to get off those ropes.
Well, Corrales does get off the ropes. Down the left hand, gets through, bounces up the right side of the head. Up on his toes, he digs downstairs. Just a little light blow there. Up on his toes, down is Corrales. He's standing right in front of him. That's a good target for him. He comes with the uppercut, bangs the head back, looking to throw the right hand. Instead, Corrales trying to counter with his own. Look at this, a big mouse underneath the right eye of Corrales already. That left hook did some damage out.
Diego Corrales is fighting the wrong strategic fight, and it's not the one they wanted him to fight. Perhaps some nerves. It's the biggest fight, obviously, of his pro career. Garcia, in his fourth title fight, won the title and defended twice.
You know, Jody Heaps just pointed out to me, one of our stat guys, that, you know, this guy's standing right in front. Corrales standing right in front. He wanted to get angles, Al, but he's not executing. You said the same thing. He's not doing fighting the front. Nice right hand inside by Garcia. Garcia hit him so hard, he almost dropped himself.
Well, Garcia walked into a right hand there, and Corrales countering him, which he certainly wants to do.
Clips him behind the ear, takes a counter right hand again. Look at the determination in the eyes of Roberto Garcia, 24 years old against a 22-year-old. And he's on the assault now, digs to the body, throws one upstairs, working the uppercut. Answers with the left hand does Corrales. Corrales doesn't grab, he just lets him fire. Nice right uppercut by Diego Corrales that time. He caught him pretty good. Didn't hurt him any, didn't buckle the legs. Both of these guys are throwing, some of the punches are landing.
The uppercut, a big weapon for Corrales, and he's starting to remember it. That's something they worked on him doing in this bout. And there he uses the left uppercut. It's turning into an excellent match, which we thought it might be.
Well, when you have a guy 32-0 that's fought world-class fighters and a world champion fighting a guy that's 28-0 that has fought some pretty good fighters, especially Claudio Martinet on his record there, that he went 5 rounds and TKO'd Martinet. Martinet's a kid that fought for the title a couple times, including a real rough fight against Boom Boom Johnson. He's a southpaw and a tough guy to beat.
Corrales is starting to settle down here and starting to pick his shots much better at landing uppercuts, left hooks, and straight right hands. He's had a better second half of the second round.
Oh, nice right hand that creases the jaw of Corrales. Garcia caught him good, but doesn't shift him with that right hand.
Great match.
Closing seconds now. This is the second round. This is picking up. If you like boxing, you gotta like this one. The bell ends round 2. Well, I don't know how you have in your scorecard, Al. I thought Garcia eked out the first round, and I still think he landed more power blows, although Corrales did do some nice countering in the second round. I'm giving Garcia the first 2 rounds.
Well, you can make a case for that. The first part of the second round was very, very effective for Garcia. Let's listen to Corrales.
Okay, come on. You say yes, but you don't do it.
That's Miguel Diaz speaking.
Okay? You say yes, but then you don't do it up there. Please?
Here's where, in the last round, the left hook gets in from Roberto Garcia. That's his big money punch, both to the body and the head. And he was able to get Corrales with that punch.
Were you surprised, Al, he didn't shift him with this punch?
Well, you know, he didn't land that one as flush as he would like. But here's Corrales throwing, most importantly, the uppercut during the course of this. He landed a couple hooks with the uppercut, which could be a very important weapon for him as this fight goes on.
All right, here we go. Round number 3. Bob Sheridan with Al Bernstein with the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You're watching Roberto Garcia in the burgundy and white and his opponent Diego Corrales in the camouflage trunks. This is round 3 of a scheduled 12-round IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Junior Lightweight division we talked about a couple of times. It's a pretty good one as you take a look at the different fighters in there. Floyd Mayweather, the WBC champ, probably the most famous of them all in this 130-pound division. Look at this work, Al.
Garcia ripping Corrales on the ropes. Diego Corrales not wanting to be on those ropes, but is there. And when you're on the ropes against Garcia, expect him to just keep cranking left hooks until he hurts you or puts you down.
A little tentative with that shot, the uppercut that time attempted by Corrales. And you would be kind of blurry out if you've been taking shots like, look at this. Wow, Garcia stays inside the power. He wants to fight right in his chest and wing to the body and come upstairs when he can. And throw the left hook, as you've seen on a couple of occasions. He spun the head, but didn't really shift Corrales. Corrales wants to fight it out here, like to pump that jab in the face and then come with an uppercut from time to time. But Garcia gives him a tough target because he'll bounce to the left. He'll bounce back to his right. He'll plant and throw like this. He keeps him off him. And don't forget, a tremendous height advantage. Like 5 inches of height advantage for Corrales. Usually, I mean, I don't know, when I was a youngster, I hated to fight big, tall, skinny guys. They were always tough to beat.
Well, Garcia, though, has already made Corrales come to him more. And look how he's able to land those shots because Corrales is in front of him and bending down. So the height and reach has been negated in this fight, partially by Garcia and partially by Corrales himself.
Is there a cut over the eye? There is, and referee Joe Cortez is going to have the doctor, Flip Romansky, come in and take a look at this cut. That had to be a head blow. I didn't see the heads come together, but it's right there, and it's a bad cut out.
Could have been a clash of heads. We'll see, and if it is, of course, if it is ruled an accidental clash of heads, we'll have to see if that's the case for Joe Cortez.
Well, they have to get through 4 rounds. We're only in the 3rd round. They've got to get through 4 and be considered a technical draw, and of course the champion retains his title. After 4 rounds, it goes to the scorecard. So these are critical, finishing in the 3rd round, the last minute here, and then the 4th round to get through it. Providing that the judges agree with my scoring and that Garcia's out in front. But Garcia's going to be in trouble. Again, we mentioned that Chuck Bodak is working in the corner, and now we'll find out just how good Chuck is. And he is one of the best guys in the business. He's going to have to use his talents now.
And Corrales now really having a good finish here to this round, partially maybe because of the cut, whether it was caused by a head or a punch, doesn't matter. Corrales is having his way and landing everything against Garcia.
This is a difficult round to score because, as Al said, he's won the 2nd half of the round for sure.
Just like the last round where Garcia did very well in the first part and didn't do so well in the second part.
I think the power shots this time were definitely landed by Corrales. So if my scoring is accurate, this is a very, very close fight after 3. Here comes the bell in round number 3. Now we got to go to the corner and see what happens with Roberto Garcia and Chuck Bodak will work on that cut. We'll listen in.
Tranquilo, tranquilo. Tranquilo, mijo. Vamos. Estamos bien, Robert. Estamos bien. Don't blow your nose.
2 minutes, go fast, okay?
Yeah.
Keep them up.
Tienes que cerrar tus manos. Cierra tus manos porque te puede pegar. Ciérrate bien cerradito. Métete como un cabezón, Robert. Mira. Pon vaselina. Trae vaselina. Keep your eyes closed.
Tell him to relax. Keep your hands up.
Cerradito, ¿eh? Póngase cerradito. Y haga el cabezón, Robert.
Stay in tight, this saying.
Here's the clash of heads that apparently caused that cut. There's the good left hooks by Garcia. I don't see clash of heads in there. Somewhere in there may have been.
The heads came together, Al, but
a couple times. Yeah, hard to tell. Garcia, in any case, landed some good left hooks there. It was early in the round.
All right, here we go. Round number 4. Bob Sheridan with Al Bernstein, MGM Grand Garden Arena. The principals, Roberto Garcia, the 32-0 champion of this IBF junior lightweight division. Diego Corrales, who had a pretty good 3rd round, trying to even out this fight a little bit. A cut beside the right eye of Garcia in the 3rd round. And it looks like Chuck has done a pretty good job now. The referee, Joe Cortez, working his 123rd championship fight, says, hey, keep the hands up to Garcia. I heard him say at the very opening, I'm firm but fair, and he is.
So far in this fight, what I think is intriguing is both men have landed big punches, and so both have felt the power of the other man. So far, nobody's gone down, though I think a couple of the times they've been stunned.
Between the two of them, they have 47 knockouts out. That's a lot of knockouts for the two fighters. And when Casey Sipes, my stage manager, said, "Hey, how's this going to go, Colonel?" I said, "Hey, I tell you, I think this is going to go the distance. But you know, it's unusual when both guys can bang like this. But they're both tough fighters."
Well, they both have the ability to knock the other man out, but they also, I think, are tough enough, as you say, to go the distance. Good right hand by Corrales, and
Corrales has shifted things around a little bit, Al, since the midway point of that third round after the heads came together. And even though Garcia is still the aggressor here, I think he's not landing the heavier blows. Wow, with the left hand goes Roberto Garcia. Garcia right in the chest. That's where they want him to be. They want him to be right in that chest. A little bit of a low blow that time by Corrales. Corrales stays outside now, resets himself. Garcia wants to get right in his chest again. Tries to bang inside, but tied up pretty good by Corrales. This is round number 4, scheduled for 12.
And the blood around the right eye of Garcia could be bothering him a little bit. It did in the last round, though he's been very aggressive here. We could see the point where that would be a problem, and we never did get a total ruling as to whether they thought that was a clash of heads or not.
And I don't think even the television replay was definitive. Yeah. I didn't see a punch that did it. And the way the gash is, it's usually heads coming together. This is round 4. Again, it's scheduled for 12. It's a world title fight. And Al, what an honor it is to have you working with me. This is my 630th world title fight tonight.
Well, that's great. And this has been a lot of fun for me, to be sure. See, this fight has been a lot of fun. This is a very action-packed fight.
It's real good action, and too, you know, their styles are just different enough, and their size is different enough to make the fight. You all have heard the old adage, styles make fights. Well, this is nice left hook that time by Roberto Garcia. But again, it doesn't shift Diego Corrales.
Corrales doing a lot of arm punching, and that's why some of those big shots with straight right hands are not doing more damage to Garcia, but this is really an excellent fight.
All right, I got that one slightly in favor of Corrales with Garcia, the aggressor. I thought, again, Corrales, especially in the early going of this round, landed heavier blows. I've got the fight dead even after 4. That's only an indication. The judges are Bill Graham from Las Vegas, Mike Liena from the state of Illinois, and Steve Weisfield from the state of New Jersey. They'll do the official scoring should it go to the scorecards. Important factor here, though, is now that it's beyond 4 rounds, it goes to the scorecards, Al, as opposed to a technical draw.
If they said it was a clash of heads.
That's true, which we don't know.
We haven't heard yet.
All you got to do is punch. You say yes, but you don't do it. Yeah. You want to fight. You fight in his fight. Yeah. Okay? Don't fight his fight. Fight our fight. Move and punch. Move and punch.
Well, you heard Miguel Diaz. That is the crux of it. They wanted, as I said at the beginning, Diego Corrales to be more of a boxer-puncher. He is standing in front of Garcia, and they don't want that. They want him to throw punches, but move a little.
Well, exactly, and now he's up on his toes. Let's see if he gets any movement at all. This is round 5, scheduled for 12, MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. You're watching the live coverage of the 12-round scheduled IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World.
You know, sometimes it's irresistible when you're facing a fighter like Garcia, who can be hit and who's coming forward. Once you hit him with 2 or 3, you want to stay there and land more. Good left hook by Garcia. And what happens is you put yourself in harm's way by doing that.
Neither fighter has been down. Back in the 3rd round, Garcia got a cut by his eye, his right eye. And we saw the great job that his cornerman, who is one of the very best in the business, Chuck Bodak, has done in that eye, because we haven't seen a lot of blood coming down. And it was a pretty bad cut in that, had a very bad part in the eyelid of the right eye. So a real fine job. And the most important thing is that Garcia's not in trouble with it anymore. In the second half of that 3rd round, he was worried about the cut.
And Diego Corrales has that lump under his right eye. That swelling could be a problem because it could start to obscure his vision a little bit. It's courtesy of the left hooks that Garcia is landing.
Look at this. That time he misses the left hook, and right back with 2 punches is Diego Corrales.
And the difference, Bob, is the fact that Corrales is giving him movement. This is the way his people wanted him to fight this fight, and he's making it more difficult just with a little lateral movement for Garcia to get off.
Well, Jody Heaps was saying when he talked to him that his people said, definitely we want angles, and definitely he wasn't getting him, but he's getting a little bit now. Not great movement, but just enough to throw off Roberto Garcia from just walking straight in and throwing shots. As the blood begins to trickle from that eye, he ducks underneath the wild left hand by Corrales. Corrales sees the blood, and it ignites him a little bit, gets the adrenaline flow going. He thinks he may have the guy hurt. You know, while that right eye is beginning to close up of Corrales, he's wide-eyed, though, isn't he? He looks like a wild man right now. He's blinking a little bit. Vision could be a problem for both of these guys, and both of them have trouble with the right eye. A little cut in the right eye of Garcia and a big, what I call a mouse, underneath the right eye of Corrales, which could be a big problem with Vision in another round or two if that left hook keeps landing on top of it.
Diego Corrales having himself a very good round 5. He's been very good with his movement. He's thrown a lot of punches, which is what they want from him, and kept Roberto Garcia off balance enough so Garcia can't rush in and throw those double left hooks.
Well, he's circling a little bit. It's slow. Now he shifts back, takes a step to the right. You want to stay away from the left hook of Garcia. I wouldn't suggest you circle his right too much. Closing seconds now of this 5th round. A pretty good Corrales round. More important, Corrales is 1, 3, and 4 on my scorecard, and he may be taking 5. Loading up the right hand and misses as Garcia at the bell.
Turn your mouthpiece. Okay. Put the water in here.
Hey, you heard him, Chico. All you got to do is keep boxing, baby.
Let him go.
Okay?
Put your hand down. Put your hand down.
You keep using the jab. More jabs.
Don't worry about it. Bridgie,
Cabecea adentro, así como cabeceaste ahorita. No te endereces, carnal, porque te pega la derecha. Porque está,
le estás ganando el round, se lo volviste a ganar, pero hay que
mira, si te
trabajar.
tiró algo de más ganchos.
Hay que trabajar adentro.
Sube tu mano derecha.
Y suavecito del cuerpo.
Sube tu mano derecha, cabecea, porque te está tirando la cara.
Vámonos, mijo.
All right, so we're set to go to round number 6 in a fight that I've got Corrales 1 point out front. He came in his fatigues looking for war, and he's found one with Roberto Garcia. Garcia's got all he can handle with this guy now. He's going to turn things around. I don't have Garcia winning a round since the 2nd. I had him winning 1 and 2. Then gradually Corrales turning it in 3, winning 4 and 5. But very close rounds, all of them. So the judges, this is only an indication the way I'm seeing it right now. We're in the 6th round of a scheduled 12-round world title fight here in the 130-pound division. Roberto Garcia in the burgundy trunks with his back to you. To the right of your screen in camouflage is Diego Corrales. Both of these men undefeated. Somebody's going to lose tonight, barring a draw.
Corrales said before this fight that Garcia likes guys who stand in front of him. I'm going to fight smart, stay within myself, box, and make him fight my fight. That has happened in the last 2 rounds after beginning fighting more on Garcia's terms. And the jab is such an important weapon. Corrales now finally using that. See, look what it does. Good counter left hook.
Got him with a real good left hook. Backed him off that time. Almost dumped him, too.
Oh, another hook, and that's hurt Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia, you can see the legs. You can see him a little bit wobbly. And there's another cut around that eye, too. I don't know if it's the same one, open up or not, but it looks like he getting clipped right on top of that right eye, did Roberto Garcia. He felt the power for the first time. Look at these shots here. And Corrales making this a definitive round. This might be the first real definitive round of the fight.
Now, important for Corrales, though, he's got Garcia hurt, but he has to be very careful not to get into a brawl still with Garcia. Boy, he's got him rocked.
He's got him back on his heels. Corrales moving in for the shot to finish it off. The blood trickles from the eye of the champion, Roberto Garcia. Are we going to see the title change hands? Plenty of time to go. He wants to load up the shot, but you're right, Al. He comes back with a left hook that would surprise Corrales. Corrales looking to land the right hand.
Corrales better use the jab to set these things up, and there goes Garcia.
And he's down. The count's up to 2 and 3 and 4. He's clear-eyed, but his legs aren't totally there. He takes the standing 8 count from referee Joe Cortez. We're in the 6th round. In comes Corrales. He'd love to finish it now. Left hook, wow, with the right hand. He still hasn't got his legs totally back. 2 good left hooks, another left hand. He gets down with the right. He's ready to go again. A nice right hand. He's out, down, he's ready to go again. Look at these shots. Man, Corrales, if he can just get one clean shot, this kid is ready to go. His legs are not there at all. Joe Cortez watching him very, very closely. Uppercut. He's got to throw, and he does. Or Cortez going to stop the fight right there. He's battling back. This is hard, Al, that he's fighting right now. and 6 and 7 and now 8. He's back up. He can continue all right. Joe Cortez says you're all right. He says okay. There's the bell, ending a great 6th round for Corrales.
Roberto Garcia has gotten off the mat before to retain his title, but he was never hurt like he has been in this match. And Dr. Flip Homansky checks in.
Okay, mira, I'm here to protect you, okay? I don't want you to take unnecessary punishment. Tú me entiendes, ¿eh? No quiero coger golpe necesariamente. Aquí para protegerte, okay? You start taking punches, I'm going to stop this fight.
You heard the warning by the referee. That's an experienced referee. Watch this now.
Well, here's where Corrales landed a good counter left hook and a right hand off the side of the head of Garcia, and that affects your equilibrium, and that sent him down. The second knockdown, Corrales using the jab very, very well. Big weapon and their uppercut, 2 important punches for him, and it made all the difference as he knocked Garcia out. Garcia campaigning to fight Floyd Mayweather, who has a WBC super featherweight or junior lightweight championship, but he better get past Diego Corrales before he thinks of a mega fight against Mayweather. Right now, he's in trouble.
Oh, he get nailed 2 good times, try to counter with the left hook, but his legs are not totally there. He's not totally recovered from the 2 knockdowns in the 6th round. Tries to load up the left hand. Corrales just needs to stay under control, set it up with the left hand. Oh, there's a right hand that snaps the head of young Garcia. Garcia, the champion, in a heap of trouble here. He gets nailed again. Joe Cortez won't let this young fighter take too much more punch. Big right hand, spun the head again. Wow, that was a flush shot for the right hand. The uppercut catches him. He's wobbled again now. Look at this. He's ready to go. He comes Corrales down. Right hand. He won't recover from this. No, Joe Cortez stops it, and he should have. Big right hand knockout.
Well, Diego Corrales changed the focus of this fight completely by starting to use his jab. It changed the entire flow of this fight, and it did in the champion, Roberto Garcia. It's a small thing, and maybe in the grand scheme of things it could get lost, but nothing changed this fight as much as Corrales using the jab. And this young man, a 22-year-old from Sacramento, California, and his dad who works with him, very happy. And for Roberto Garcia, very tough. He loses his title.
And he loses the first fight of his career. It came at 48 seconds of the 7th round. He never recovered from the 2 knockdowns in the 6th. He got nailed right away, although he tried to throw gamely a left hook. But this kid, Diego Corrales, who was the most powerful of the 2 punches coming in, just hung in there. Garcia, we thought, won the first couple rounds closely. Then with the eye cut of Garcia in the 3rd round, Corrales began to take over midway through that round, and then I thought he won 4-5. Certainly, he controlled the 6th round with 2 knockdowns. I gave him a 10-8 round there, and then they're going to score this a TKO, but Joe Cortez wanted to get right to assisting Garcia rather than count him out. It's all academic. It'll be scored as a TKO, but it's another knockout on the record of Corrales. That was a clean knockout. He could have counted to 100.
Yeah, Diego Corrales, as you look at him, and we will see how this fight ended, you have to give him a lot of credit. He made a strategic error in the first couple rounds, fighting Garcia's fight, then turned it all around. And here you see just that little movement to keep him out of harm's way, which he started in the last 3 rounds, makes it impossible for Garcia to counter him. The jab, a huge weapon. Without the jab, that straight right hand doesn't get there. And, of course, that's the final punch that tells Joe Cortez it's time to stop the fight. Look at the jab. Double, triple jab sets up the right hand. And for 22-year-old Diego Corrales, it is a huge win and the end of the title reign, at least for now, of Roberto Garcia, a young 24-year-old who held the IBF title and defended it twice, but could not get it done here against Corrales.
Boy, I tell you, Al, we've seen a couple of pretty good things here tonight. The David Tua 2nd round knockout over the Canadian heavyweight champion Shane Sutcliffe, and this fight was looking like it was going to be a real war, and Garcia was in control for the first couple of rounds. Then it could even up after 4, and all of a sudden in the 6th round, Corrales just turned things around. And you know, it all started after his corner said, look, you got to give us movement. And when he gave movement, it set everything up for him. And just as they said before the fight, if you get your angles, you can beat this guy. And he did it. I thought it was a terrific job. 2 nice kids, too, by the way.
Yeah, 2 very good fighters. And Diego Corrales, with that movement, also established the jab, stayed enough on the outside so he wasn't lured into Roberto Garcia's fight, and all of that equaled the kind of performance they expected from Corrales.
We still have to get the official announcement from Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make it official, but there's no question about it. Diego Corrales, a 7th-round TKO winner. It could be scored as a knockout, too, because the referee just didn't bother to count because he really wanted to attend to the safety of Roberto Garcia, who had a flush knock. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 48 seconds in round number 7. He's the winner by way of knockout and the new IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, Diego Chico Corrales.
Hey, how about this guy against Floyd Mayweather?
Well, I think Chico Corrales needs a little more seasoning before he would be able to take on Mayweather, and I think even he would admit that. He's a young man who, like Garcia, they were campaigning for a Mayweather fight, and I think that took their focus away, by the way. I think they were looking ahead, thinking of bigger matches, not realizing that Roberto Garcia, and this is an honest assessment, was never a dominant champion. He was a good champion so far and could have become a dominant champion, but I think they were really putting the cart before the horse and looking for a mega match. They should have been concentrating on just putting together a solid defenses, and I think somewhere they may have been caught looking ahead.
Hey, Garcia's only 24 years old. He'll be back to fight another day, thanks to the Joe Cortez jumping right in there and getting this thing stopped and attending to him when he was hurt. But Corrales, brilliant. You got to say he's brilliant.
He performed very well. He has lots of physical gifts. As you look at Mike Tyson, as he prepares for yet another comeback in the ring. And there is Orlin Norris, former cruiserweight champ, who is only 5 pounds less than Tyson. He weighed in at 218 and Tyson 223. So Orlin Norris showing you what he hopes will be the kind of hand speed that will keep Mike Tyson at bay. Big night for him.
If he can get that jab going like that and double with it, he could cause Tyson problems. Another big story behind the story, of course, is his dad, Orlin Norris Sr., who was a pretty good fighter in his own right, has had cancer. He's been stricken with cancer, and he's had all kinds of surgeries and bone marrow transplants and things of that nature, and there's a great deal to talk about. We will. Here's Dr. Freddie Pacheco with the fighter.
At the beginning, my first question is, why didn't you jab the first 2 or 3 rounds?
I was so nervous. I feel like I was stuck in the mud. I mean, I was stuck in the mud. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get up big punches. I was so nervous. I was listening to my corner. I could hear them, and I knew what they were telling me to do. I knew what they were saying. I understood it completely, and I couldn't go out there and do it. It was just like I was...
What woke you up?
He jarred me at the end of the 3rd round, and I was like, oh, okay. And it just woke me up. It was like a wake-up call.
Well, in the second, between the first and second, he went to the corner and said, can I knock him out now? And he said, go ahead, try. And he came out and really launched a hard combat in the 2nd round. I thought that kind of woke you up.
No, because I was never hurt at all. Towards the end of the 2nd round, he was a left hook. And I didn't know where it came from. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't suspecting it at all. And he caught me with a clean left hook, and I was like, oh, whoa. And I really got to feel it. It woke me up. It woke me right up.
At the last few rounds, you were blinking like mad because of your eye. You're still blinking right now. Did you think that was going to be a factor in your fight? Was it going to close on you, bother you?
I thought about it a little, but my thing was I have Miguel Diaz here, the best clubman in the world. I really shouldn't worry about anything other than doing my job. And that's what I try to do.
Did you think that he had the capacity to knock you out? He hit you with some slamming shots.
No, I was not going to go down. I wasn't going to. I couldn't see it. The one thing I saw, I've been dreaming of all my life, was to get the title, and I wasn't going to let it go away. I wasn't letting it go.
Let me go.
Well, all right.
I'm going to take out something away from this fight. This is a referee for the World Championship, Mr. Cortez. Last night, the amateur referee, the fight between Cobrita Soto and Hamed, was impossible to deal with a guy because the guy don't know what he's doing. Stop the referees, they don't have no experience. We're on the championship fight.
Joe Cortez did, as usual, do an excellent fight, so we expect that from Joe Cortez. All right. Now, your reaction to this hammering knockdown that you've suffered, in the
Well, you know, I was very well prepared, you know, 2 months in training camp. I was ready for the fight, you know, I came prepared for 2 months. I was ready. He just caught me. I can't do this. I can't say nothing about it.
Was the eye bothering you at all? I saw you flicking.
It did bother me a little bit. He caught me. It opened up, and there's nothing I can do. I just have to give him all the credit.
At the beginning of the fight, we heard you between the first and second round come in and say, "Can I knock him out now?" And he said, "Andale, go ahead and do it."
Well,
and then you went and tried real hard.
I started getting him pretty good. I honestly thought I was, after the first 3 rounds, I thought I was going to get him. But like I said, this is the sport of boxing. He caught me, and there's nothing I can say. I got to congratulate him, and, I wish him the best.
Did his height pose a problem?
It did. He boxed pretty good. He counter-punched real good, and that's how he beat me. Like I said, there's nothing I can say. He came out better than me today, and he deserves everything.
Well, I think both of you deserve a rematch in this, because this may be the fight of this year. This is a candidate for fight of the year. So it could be. Would you fight him any differently if you fought him again?
I got to think about it. Like I said, I had already said it in my own heart that whenever I lost the fight, maybe that'd be my last fight. So I got to think about it with my family.
No, not as good as you are. Not the last fight. Come on. I'm all for people retiring, but
exactly,
you're in the middle.
Exactly, but there's other things I really want to do. So I got to think about it with my family, my kids. I'll think about it.
Thank you very much for a great night. Thank you.